And we're back, as Kramer once said.
Jerry!
Come on, be on my talk show.
Come on in.
We're going to start off with Marcell Ozuna, coming from the Cardinals. Is he going back there, Dad, or is he going to a new team?
He goes to the Indians.
Same logic as Castellanos.
Yes. They need hitting outfielders. I think he kind of wore out his welcome in St. Louis. I don't think St. Louis will re-sign him. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Indians. Offensive outfielder, put him in left field, drive in some runs. Real good fit.
Again, those final 3 picks that we kind of thought for, or at least I thought for Castellanos, with L.A., Cleveland, and the White Sox. I had Ozuna going to the White Sox. I thought
White Sox are getting better.
I think the White Sox are big winners this offseason.
Yeah.
But we'll get to.
And they do have the money.
Exactly, because they were linked to Machado and Harper.
Correct.
Last offseason and lost to both, so they might be a little pissed.
Yeah. And it's a big market. Let's face it.
And I'm not trying to offend here, but with the
Cubs going downhill,
losing Cubs, no playoff for the Cubs this past year,
and they won't be this year.
The White Sox have an opportunity here, and honestly, they have the weakest, what I think is the weakest division in baseball. So there's a big opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to beat up on the Royals, you're going to beat up on the Tigers.
Yeah, big time.
Indians kind of maybe not, depends on injuries, that kind of stuff.
Correct. It's them and the Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the White Sox have so much young talent coming up the ranks that they're going to be an exciting ball club. You hope Chicago gives them a chance and goes out to Comiskey and, go to the games and everything. But Jimenez is going to be a star. They got 3 or 4 young pitchers. They could be a team to watch next year, if not 2 years from now. But it's going to be a fun team. Mm-hmm. It's them and the Reds, I think, are going to be the fun teams to watch next year.
The Reds, yeah. Well, speaking of that, so for Didi Gregorius, I have him going to the Reds.
You know what? I must have missed the page because DD's not on my page. But I'll go DD with the Reds as well. So they need a shortstop.
Did you print out the wrong page?
No, I got the 9 to 10 here. There's 9.
He's 12.
Oh, 12. 12 that didn't come in my little thing. Son of a gun.
All right.
DD goes to the Reds.
Okay.
There it is right there. Just didn't give me the headline. Sorry about that. DD goes to the Reds.
It doesn't say get out of here. Richard.
No, it's there. It's right there.
Yeah.
But it didn't give me the
headline.
headline.
I thought you said your headline. I thought you were making stuff up.
No.
Reason being for me, there's not that big of a need for shortstops this offseason.
But
Didi started with Cincinnati. And Galvis is their current shortstop, and he can move over to second base where Pereza didn't have the greatest year. Might be non-tendered or something like that.
Correct.
They got a great up-and-coming second baseman that they want to make a center fielder named Nick Senzel. I think that's how you say his last name.
Right.
So I think that offense will be very scary, honestly, with Didi as a shortstop because Aquino, who hit just monster shots. I mean, he didn't hit a lot, but they went far. Eugenio Suarez, I think, who led the league. He was right behind
I really
Alonso.
like him a lot, by the way.
Votto had an off year, but again, with an extra bat in the lineup, Votto, in theory, should be able to walk more. You want to pitch around Votto, you get on base more.
And as a veteran presence who's been through a championship atmosphere that can help the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So that's a great fit.
And we'll get to the Central and talk about the Reds later for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since you were ready for Will Smith, I'm not going to steal your thunder here. He signed with the Braves.
Correct. Great signing for the Braves, by the way.
Yeah.
Very good relief pitcher. So.
Do you think he'll end up being like a closer for them? Because he ended up getting some saves.
I think he's a good setup guy.
Okay.
I do. I think being left-handed and everything, I think he's a good setup guy. And I think, again, the Braves are ahead of everybody right now when it comes to free agents.
Chris Martin and Mark Melanson.
Yes. Yes.
Are also in their bullpen. And they also signed O'Day. So they are coming in right now the strongest bullpen, or at least one of the strongest bullpens in baseball.
They did. I think good for that GM. The GM's very aggressive, and he goes, okay, here's a window. Let me get my work done before the winter meetings. He's done a great job.
Okay, so Keuchel. Who was your pick for Keuchel?
I got him going to White Sox for a veteran presence of the rotation. It might be a 1-year, 2-year deal, but here's a guy that can be probably the number 2 starter, but at least can show the kids how to go through a season and be part of a championship team. I think the White Sox have the money. I think it's a perfect fit. A crafty left-hander being in the middle of the rotation.
I see that. I just naturally went with, Cole didn't go to the Nationals. Strasburg didn't go to the Nationals. Bumgarner not to the Nationals. Ryu not to the Nationals. So they get Keuchel.
They need something.
Yeah, so they
because their rotation right now is hurting. They need somebody to fill in that blank.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
Yeah.
again, I see what you said about the White Sox. I give them some veteran presence. Kind of like a mid-end starter, honestly, so I don't give him someone as good as what I think Keuchel is. But Keuchel's also in my mind, sort of, he had a rough decision last offseason.
Correct.
He should not be in this current boat in my mind.
Right.
But I think he doesn't get what he probably should have gotten last year,
Correct.
and that's benefit for the Nationals, who I think obviously are going to put more money in Rendon and a few other people.
Well, think about it. He only threw like 100 innings because he came in mid-season, so his arms should be pretty fresh. So he only pitched a half a season. So
in theory.
Yeah. So just for that, I can see him going to the Nationals. But then him and Corbin are really the same kind of pitcher. So, but think about that for a minute.
I think they're different enough.
But, they separate them 2 and 4, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
I can go with that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, it could just be a knee-jerk reaction to losing Strasburg too.
Correct.
Signing the next best guy.
Yeah.
Which, in my mind, is going to be Keuchel, because I don't think there'll be players on Ryu. And obviously Odorizzi's off the market, and I don't think they'll get Bumgarner.
And just for the record, we are new Nationals fans. We're a big fan of the Nationals.
We went to the Game 4 of the championship series.
That's right, and they won.
Yeah, they did.
That's right. We saw the clinch, and we got beer thrown on us. So we want to make known that we're big Nationals fans. Never.
You're fine. Are you up next for Cole?
I will talk the other Cole, as they
first
say.
name Cole.
That's right. The other ones.
Are you on the Cole train?
I wish I was. I think he's going to the Phillies. I've read a couple rumors.
I got that too.
Unbelievable. I wrote, and then he goes, he
homecoming.
He interviewed him, and he goes, I am not averse to going back to Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. He got a hell of an ovation when he pitched for the Cubs this year. They gave him 2 standing ovations of both times he went up to the plate. I think he'd be a great fit, and I think he'll come at a reasonable price tag. Maybe a 1-year deal with an option for 2, but I think he'd be a great fit in Philly, and they need that for a push to get to battle the Braves. So I think it'd be a great fit for everybody.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah.
Bray, you re-signed with the White Sox. We don't need to talk about that, but I'm very glad that I landed on Michael Pineda. So I put him. This was my first pick because I'll be honest with you all. It makes sense what I ended up going with, but I went with just a joke. But I'm sticking with it. Michael Pineda signs with the Houston Astros because he's a cheater, just like the Astros.
You wanted that one.
Uh-huh.
You're building for that one, Johnny.
Yep.
Good for you.
Logically, they do need like a three starter, 3 or 4 starter, depending on how you view McCullers.
Yeah.
And I think they could afford him. I mean, he, to me, makes sense. But again, if you don't know Pineda's story, he cheated with some pine tar. He put it on his neck to basically get ground balls and grease the baseball, lack of a better word.
That and sweat.
Yeah, but he had a whole thing of pine tar right here.
And
he got suspended for that for half a season or something like that.
Yeah, he did. But I thought he was older. He's only 31. I thought he was older than that.
He missed a couple. I was a year and a half to do some surgeries. He's been injured a lot, so he's not
he's a big man.
Yeah, he's not a stable.
Yes.
Health-wise.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that was the line of the day, so we're not even going into that. That was great. Good for you.
Your pick for Mike Moustakas.
I got him going to the Nationals.
I would imagine if you don't have Rendon, I see that.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great clubhouse addition. And right now the Nationals look like they have fun. And I think they look for guys. You know what I'm saying? I think they look for guys that fit into that clubhouse. And you hate to get into this, but I think losing Harper made that clubhouse so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what we saw on the field was a bunch of guys having fun, and they really were pulling for each other. Not the most talented team, but the team that hung together and came back 3-2 deficit to win 2 games in Houston.
2013 Red Sox. It's the most similar thing. 2013 Red Sox were not the most talented team out there.
What a great story.
But they had fun.
Great story, and I think good for the Washington, because the last time they were in the World Series was 33. Some ungodly number for that.
They were the Senators, yeah.
Yeah, and then to wait all this time and have all this falling out of the playoffs for bad games, straight to the Cubs, and kind of gave that game away. So that was huge. So I hope Moose does go with the Nationals, and I can hear the crowd now.
I think he goes with the Phillies. Phillies need a third baseman. I think he embodies what Philly's looking for in a lot of things. And I also think he's affordable, and that makes Kingery more their center fielder, not their third baseman.
Interesting. He'll hit a lot of home runs in Philadelphia because the ball flies out of there too.
Yeah, but think about that lineup. Okay, so what is your 3, 4, 5, 6? I mean, you'll have Hoskins, Harper,
Yeah.
Moose, Real Muto, Segura, McCutcheon, Kingery. I don't know who's lead off there. Maybe Segura, maybe Hernandez, but Kingery. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. They should score runs, right?
in theory, they'll have a lot of offense to make up for. Well, Aaron Nola, Cole Hamels, hopefully Arrieta, hopefully with a bounce back into.
Yeah, I don't know about Arrieta.
I don't know
think
about
he might be
Arrieta.
done. He's throwing a lot of pitches and he throws a lot of breaking balls. And then once you have trouble with your elbow and
Yeah.
everything, we'll see what happens. But you know, Jake was good when he was good, but you can see that it's taking its toll.
Mhm.
And I know he's in his 33, 34 years old. So yeah,
Where's Mr. Gibson go?
he signed already with the Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
When did he sign?
Yeah, last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
No problem at all. That's why you have me.
Well, okay. I didn't have him going there, so I'll take that as a loss.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah. They were. I was shocked.
Did it go through? Because I checked the Rangers.
No, they said Kyle will sign with the Rangers. It was last
Wait, what?
Tuesday. So I think they're just waiting for next week to make it official.
Pause for station identification.
Okay. Guy.
We're back. Apparently, Kyle Gibson signed with the Rangers for a 3-year, $30 million deal, pending a physical. So that's probably why I might have missed it. It wasn't official
And
by
the
the team
Thanksgiving
yet.
break.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my bad for not seeing that, everyone. But okay. So Kyle Gibson signed. So I'll try to add a extra one. That means 9 of our 50 have signed, not 8, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
So
Amazing, isn't it?
I'll come up with another 9th honorable mention that we can just pick on the fly and see where we
Sure.
land.
We're good on the fly.
You gotta be.
Try.
Okay, so if Gibson signed, you're up next. Did you
Tanners? I did go Moose.
Oh, so I'll do Rourke then.
Yeah.
Tanner Rourke goes with the Blue Jays. Another Blue Jay prediction.
You know what? I like what you're thinking. I think the Blue Jays have the money and all that stuff. I have them go to the Giants just because they have such a void in their rotation, especially with Bumgarner leaving.
Mhm.
They have a huge void in their starting rotation.
Yeah.
So I have him going out there. He's a middle of the road guy. We'll see where he goes, but he's a 3-starter.
Our
So.
similarities so far are Bumgarner and Hamels, right?
Correct.
The pitchers. Okay.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'll let you go with Pineda because they have such a great line.
Well, oh no, actually, we actually have DD too.
Yeah, Didi, yeah.
Yeah. But who did you pick for Pineda?
I
know you didn't pick Houston. I won't count it.
I had him going to the Twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you're like, I want him to go to
No,
Houston. so
yeah,
badly.
it's a great line. You know when in comedy that you got the line, just go with it.
Yep.
Yeah, don't stop the momentum.
Yep.
But yeah,
Okay. So we're different on Rourke. Julio Teheran.
I got him going to the Indians because they need that for their bullpen, and they want to compete with the Twins. He was fantastic when he was with the Braves, but then he got hurt, and then all of a sudden he wants to come back and everything. But I think he's a 1-year deal, and I think he'd be a good fit for the Indians who need relief pitching desperately.
Do you think he ends up being more of a starter or a reliever?
I think now is a reliever because of his arm.
Well, he started most games last year.
Right, but then he had the injury and all that stuff. He keeps breaking down.
He has experience doing both ways. I have him more of a starter
Okay.
going to the White Sox.
You know what? Again, a 1-year deal, probably a perfect scenario.
I think
and
they'll
let
go
him prove
longer
himself.
because the White Sox
Yeah.
may again compete. I'm more confident actually in the Padres and the White Sox going
Okay.
to the playoffs next year.
I like the Padres. We saw them in person in Colorado.
We did. They were not good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's why
They
I'm wearing
quit.
the Rocky shirt.
They quit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Okay. So we'll see where that ends up. Will Harris.
I got to go to the Cubs. The Cubs bullpen is in shambles. Just in shambles. So they need...
Can they afford him?
Well, apparently they're going to trade Bryant and also...
Can't wait to talk about the Central then.
I know. Apparently Wilson Contreras is going to be traded within the next 2 weeks. And then Chris Bryant may end up in San Diego.
Playing where? Left field?
Third base.
Machado plays third base.
Shortstop.
Tatis.
Second base.
Tatis does not.
He's
a shortstop.
Yeah.
Machado
Right.
said he's a better shortstop than me.
But right now, and Chris Bryant could end up in the outfield, but apparently, of all the 4 core players the Cubs have, the rumor has it they're going to trade 2. What I read about is Contreras is gone and Bryant is gone. And they're going to go for youth. And San Diego has the best farm system. Or the Angels, 1 or 2. Can you see Chris Bryant being an Angel? Ho ho ho! Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I have Will Harris going to Toronto, as you're saying.
Man, you are big on Toronto.
They have the most money to spend to help Giles.
Well, they're moving right on up.
Mhm.
Wow.
Toronto's going to be scary next year, but
Well,
not
they have a
not in
nice-
the playoffs. They won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but nice team.
But Toronto will be dominant in the early 2020s. Just with that whole crew of people, they remind me of the Astros, how they're developing without a trash can, but with their developing into some really quality
Did you
players.
catch it, everybody at home? Did you catch it?
I'm really excited to talk about the AL West too, and get to the Astros.
This is an interesting note. A couple of summers ago, I was at the Bowie, Maryland, watching the Bay Sox.
You say
play.
Bowie, Maryland?
Bowie, Maryland. And I was watching the farm system of the Blue Jays play Bowie Bay Sox. And they had all the guys there, with the shortstop and, Bichette and all that stuff. And I knew then these kids were going to be just fabulous players. It's all coming true. I mean, the ball just comes off their bat differently. I mean, just rockets. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun team. So, good for you. I think that's kind of neat.
Pomeranz, Simon, San Diego. I didn't miss that one.
Good.
Wade Miley.
I haven't gone to the Cubs, believe it or not, because the Cubs have a huge gap with Hamels going. They could use a veteran southpaw. So I haven't gone to the Cubs on a one-year deal.
Okay. I haven't gone to Texas. Multi-year deal. Again, this was before they signed Gibson. I'm just going to own that. I made this prediction before I knew Kyle Gibson signed. So I'm probably wrong on that. I doubt they have money for both because they really actually need offensive help. But so I'm wrong. We'll see. Cubs are big losers for me this offseason, so we'll...
That's an understatement because they stink!
I don't even know whose turn it is anymore. Corey Dickerson?
I got the White Sox.
Baltimore Orioles. Their only signing of the offseason.
How much money do you have? I bet you $20 he doesn't go to the Orioles.
That's 1 in 30. No, I had to pick the Orioles for taking one senior outfielder. But tell me why you're right and I'm wrong.
I think he'd be a great bat for the White Sox and another veteran player to kind of rough out the smooth spots. I mean, you know what I meant. Smooth out the rough spots. But I think he's another good player that would fit well with them, and a left-handed bat's always good. So, yeah, I haven't gone to White Sox.
Orioles because they need some new name.
Oh.
They need some age in their outfield. I don't know anyone over than 25 in their outfield.
Oh, I agree.
It's
pathetic.
They need somebody.
Yeah.
Corey can hit a little bit. I mean, he's capable of hitting 25 to 30 home runs. He's good with doubles. He's defensively not that great. So I think a multi-year deal and they need someone to really replace Trumbo. And I kind of think that is the answer. Again, the Orioles are not competing next year.
Oh, my God.
But if you're Corey Dickerson, you're looking at 162 games guaranteed. You're not platooning, and you're going to get platooned in a lot of these other situations.
Yeah. Great point. The thing that kills you about the Orioles, they have two players in the outfield that are not even outfielders. Mancini throws from the side.
They're going to start him at first base next year.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to play him in the outfield.
Okay, so Davis gets waived.
No, Davis just gets on the bench.
Okay.
He's not even the DH or first baseman in their depth charts.
$25 million. That's good. That's a good investment. And then the guy, I think it's Young, who came and throw to hit the cutoff man.
I don't think Delvin Young's on the team anymore.
No. Who's the guy who's the the left fielder? He was the son of a major league, Eric Young's son. Yeah, I thought he was the outfield of the Orioles right now. I thought it was major league. He came from the Blue Jays. I thought his name
There's
was Young.
Santander. There's Hayes, Mountcastle, Wilkerson.
Okay, it was last year that this guy was playing left field. He was a chunky outfielder that could barely hit the cutoff man. His arm was so bad.
Did I say Cedric Mullins?
No, I thought it was Eric Young Jr.
There is an Eric Young Jr. that plays baseball. I don't think it was on the Orioles last year. Though.
But we are looking.
No, he was still in baseball.
If we look at the roster for last year's Orioles, he was the other outfielder. It was just pathetic.
There was a Joey Ricard at one point, but he wasn't.
He got waived. So we'll look at it.
All right, we'll talk about that.
But anyway, yeah. So we're up to Travis.
You can talk about
Travis got signed.
He did.
Next couple guys have been signed. Travis was signed with the Braves.
Denard Braves and Martin Braves. Chris Martin Braves.
Correct.
Daniel Hudson has not been signed. Goes back to DC for me.
Okay, he goes to Cubs for me because they need somebody to set up for the closer.
They need the Nats.
Yeah, but I think
What is Chatwood? He's not a setup guy. Is he more of a long-term relief?
he was a starter that went bad, but
Oh.
now he's like a long relief guy.
So so they do need a setup guy. I give you that.
Yeah, so I think.
So are the Nats. Rainey and I just think they need someone for.
Yeah, all depends on if he really wants to stay in DC or not. But if not, I know the Cubs are offering him a contract.
I think so. I'll actually save this until we get to the Nats because I have a lot of parallels between the Nats next year as this year's Red Sox. So, and I think some of their offseason habits will be like the Red Sox habits last year. Let's re-sign Pierce. Let's re-sign Nate Eovaldi. Let's re-sign a lot of these people just so we have them back. But they're not going to perform as what they once did.
Yeah,
so I think it's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Avizel Garcia.
That's pretty well a nice pronunciation. I have him going to the Marlins. The only player.
And you blame me for the Orioles. You pick a team that is less inclined to win. What?
They just need. Derek needs something.
So he's a body. That's all. That's your logic.
Correct, and he'll start.
Okay, I have
it's the same thing with the Orioles.
I guess I have him going to. Well, hold on. I'm no better. I read the wrong line. I have him going to Detroit Tigers for the same reason. They need a body. But the Marlins have bodies. The Tigers really don't.
I think this guy.
The Tigers have Jacoby Jones, no corners. The Marlins have 3 rookies that are largely unproven. They're like borderline September call-ups.
And I think
I don't think they'd be starting
on
on other teams. Maybe the Orioles.
Marlins didn't score any runs last year.
No, they won't score anything this year. They're dead last.
Yeah.
Would you put them above 5th in the East right now?
No.
Ever?
No.
Maybe not ever, but
yeah.
With the information we have.
Yeah.
Okay. So Avizel Garcia, your future's not bright, but there's some green in it.
Correct.
You're not going to win.
Go down to South Florida, have a good time.
Yep. Or you stay cold in Detroit.
Yeah. Oh. Guess what he's going to choose?
I would choose the Marlins too.
Yeah.
Howie Kendrick.
I got him going to the Twins.
No, he'd do well there.
Yes,
he would do well there.
And that would solidify the lineup.
I think they're just kind of missing. All right, yeah, they do need a second baseman that can kind of play first base. Yeah, I like that. I have him back to the Nats because they again need the same thing.
Well, they got Nats spending some money this offseason.
I have Nats spending the money that they lose with signing Strasburg. If they sign Strasburg and Rendon, everybody else I'm wrong on. I would be wrong on Martin. I'd be wrong, or not Martin. I'd be wrong on Hudson, Kendrick, and I think I had somebody else going to Keuchel too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be wrong on all those. So again, domino effect.
Okay.
Rick Porcello.
Well, he had a good season with the Red Sox, and then also on Kaboosh. I come to the Giants.
Why?
Because they need help in the rotation desperately.
I'm very excited to get to the NL West. One word: will they be contenders or sellers? The Giants this year.
I think they're going to be contenders because they have to move up the ladder to keep the fan base.
I'm going with sellers, so I think that is good. That's probably why our minds went separate there.
Okay.
I have them going to the Cubs. Cubs, they need Rick Porcello. Obviously, desperately, it's going to be the only way that the Cubs could ever win again is Rick Porcello. I'm just gassing you right now. They need an innings eater, and Rick Porcello is perennially an innings eater.
You know what? When he's on, he's on. When he's not, he's not. You know, he's been enigma. It's, you know.
Mm-hmm. I have Brett Gardner going back to the Yankees.
I got him going to Phillies.
All right. Why? Where's he playing?
I got him in the center field.
He's got
and leadoff. They don't have a leadoff hitter.
That's fair. I don't know who led off from last year.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
This guy could fill in a whole bunch of roles.
I think he does one more year in New York and retires. I don't know why he didn't do it this year.
Okay.
Maybe he wants a ring. But I think he got one in 2009, right? He was on that team.
Yeah. The Yankees had all the talent. They fell apart.
Okay. Robinson Chirinos.
I got him to go into the Brewers.
They do need a catcher. I have Brewers being big losers this offseason, though. But I have him going back to Houston. He can help steal signs. So he stays with Houston.
I can't wait till you get to Houston. It's going to be 15 minutes. I'll just take a break and let you have a solo. All right. So, yeah, I think the Brewers need him more than Houston does. Brewers have a huge hole of that.
I don't have the Brewers signing a catcher.
Wow.
I have them figuring it out via trade.
Okay. They could. No, Cubs wouldn't trade within the division.
Other catcher really on the top 50 is Jason Castro.
Yeah. I'm going to the Mets. As like a little part-time defensive specialist kind of guy.
They have Wilson Ramos, who is a defensive
Yeah, but
specialist.
this guy, I don't know who their backup is, and I went through everything.
If you're Jason Castro, do you sign with a potentially contending
Or you want to
team?
play,
So have him go to the Angels.
Yeah, and then would he be a starter with the Angels, or would he be a backup?
Starter.
Okay.
Nobody there.
All right. Good thinking. Good thinking. All right.
Craig Stamen, a pretty solid reliever.
I got him go to Nationals.
That's funny. He started his career there.
Yes, number 22.
Yeah.
He threw a ball to us one time when we were in the bleachers.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Fun though. I have him going to the Red Sox. One of the few Red Sox signings. Well, not one of the 3 Red Sox signings. Not a big splash, but we don't really have a bullpen.
Yeah, it's a shame where the Red Sox were and then where they are right now. And there's a gap right now. So it's gonna be interesting if they fill it in.
The bullpen is Workman, Barnes, and a bunch of
Question marks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that Ryan Brazier guy had a terrible year.
Yeah.
Great postseason in 2018.
Yeah.
Didn't show up in 2019 really, but we'll get to the Boston.
Yeah.
Steve Sheshik, which wasn't he a Cub?
He was. Yeah. He was a very good relief pitcher for 2 years. I have him going to the Phillies.
I have him going to Tampa Bay. Same reasoning when they need either a setup man or a closer.
Okay.
Depending how I'm going to remember his name.
From what I read, the Phillies bullpen was so atrocious last year. They gave up, 20-some games to the bullpen. That is the difference of them being.
They really just face
place.
planted in the second half.
Yeah.
Yasiel Puig.
Oh, I would love to hear your thinking on this.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right.
I have a surprise pick for you.
Well, I have a surprise pick that you will not like. So you had. Excuse me. It was. I'm trying to think. It was an offensive-minded person. Oh, you had Anthony Rendon going to the Cardinals, right?
Yes, the big splash.
I have Yasiel Puig going to the Cardinals.
Whoa, with that clubhouse?
With that clubhouse.
Oh, my God.
With that manager. Left field is Puig, Bader, and Fowler. Or if Puig went to right, Fowler will switch. Yeah. It's not a big deal. I think Carpenter does rebound. I think that's a scary lineup. Wow. Puig, Goldschmidt, Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, Fowler, Molina. Bader can have some power.
Yeah, Bader's pretty good.
So I have the Cardinals easily winning the division next year. More than 10 games. Actually, it's actually a pretty big blowout for the Cardinals. Puig gets insane numbers. Does not get his maturity underway at all. But he takes out 2 Cub players with concussions, and that's why the Cardinals win, because they're paying him to beat up the Cubs, and he's going to go after Chris Bryant and Jason Haywood.
No, I like him to take out Rizzo.
Rizzo injured in spring training.
Probably. Yeah, I like it. I had Puig going to the Padres.
Okay, that's good. Him and Machado would not see eye to eye.
Fun, huh?
Yeah, my God. You want to fight for the same reason I want to fight. We are now hiring boxers to go in MLB.
Brothers in battle. I think it'd be a hell of an offensive addition for the Padres. Because when I saw the Padres last year, they had 0 offense.
So that means they
Nor
trade
did they care.
Renfroe or Myers? Because they're not going to. He's not a center fielder.
I think they would trade Myers in a heartbeat. This guy has a future.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the way he played. We saw him in Baltimore well.
Okay.
So
Encarnacion.
I got him going to Tampa Bay.
So do I.
All right.
Yeah, that was, I think, what MLB Trade Rumors said too. Not a lot of DH needs. He's not playing the field.
Correct, and he's getting on in years.
And he wants a competitor, and the Rays will be a competitor next year.
And the pressure won't be on him that bad. So that's
there's
a good fit.
Other offensive. Yeah. Alex Wood, who I believe took a good amount of the year on injury, if I recall.
Correct. He had great potential. I got him going to Royals because the Royals may take a flyer on him.
I think he could go anywhere.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you could make a case for any single team taking a chance on him. A lot of these bottom of the list pitchers you could see anywhere. I have the one I think Brewer signing.
Interesting.
It's Alex Wood.
Okay.
And kind of hopefully being like a 2 or 3 guy if he's good.
Okay.
Adam Wainwright resigned with the Cardinals.
Bingo.
Brockholt, I have him going back to the Red Sox. I can't see him in any other uniform.
I got him go to Nationals. Takes the place of
Howie Kendrick.
Yeah.
Okay. Josh Lindblom, I think that's how you say his name.
Yes.
Again, he's been playing in the Korean League.
Correct.
And I think actually he stays there. He does not come back to MLB. He's a little scared. He's never done well in the Major League Baseball. People love him in Japan. I think in Korea. Either he stays in Japan or he stays in Korea. He stays in the
Asian
community of baseball.
Okay.
And so he can succeed. I think he'll have plenty of money to stay, and I just don't know if he'll get the same level of notoriety by just signing with what he has as the Cubs.
I do. Who the guy that the Cardinals picked up as a starter, Mikolas, I think you pronounce that as the starter.
Miles Mikolas?
Right. He was in Japan, and then he came and signed. And
there's another guy named Miller. Do you think a guy named Miller?
No, Mikolas is the
okay.
guy that was in Japan, and then the Cubs wanted to sign him, but the Cardinals did a couple years ago, and he turned out to be a really good player.
Are you sure it was Mikolas?
Yeah, it was. It was a couple years ago.
Okay. I thought it was some guy on the Diamondbacks.
No.
Oh. No. Some guy named Kelly on the Diamondbacks? No? I don't know. I thought he was...
In Asia?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
We can look that one up.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see where he ends up and what continent.
Okay.
Dylan Betances.
I think I got a good fit for him. I got him going to the Nationals.
Well, if Hudson doesn't resign, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I am going to Tampa Bay. It's probably the same reasoning.
Okay.
Cole Calhoun.
You know what? I do like what MLB said he'd go to the Pirates. Pirates have a new GM and a new manager. They're trying to spend some money. He'd be a good fit for the Pirates, especially if Marte gets traded. Marte wants to be traded now, by the way.
I know. I would want to be traded if I'm in Pittsburgh, too.
That's right.
After being linked. We'll get to Vasquez later, too. I'm going to light up the Pirates.
Whoa, that's going to be interesting.
Just let me have those teams.
Yeah, that's right. I'll leave.
I had Tampa Bay. It was from Betances. Calhoun I have to the Reds to replace their Jesse Winker in left field. I don't think he's that great.
Okay.
New name for me. Shogo Akiyama.
Yes.
Goes where?
He goes to Seattle. We're all.
I have Seattle.
Yeah, baby, we got it going.
Malik Smith is fast, but he can't hit really.
Yeah.
So he reminds me of a Terrence Gore. He's just going to be used for stolen bases.
Or bobbleheads.
I'm sure there's a Malik Smith bobblehead.
Yeah. But I think, again, it seems like the Asian players do very well in Seattle, and he'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Seattle needs help.
Rich Hill.
I got him back to the Dodgers because I think
we are back-to-back picks.
Yeah. I think that's going to be one of his only options, to be quite honest. Yeah. What a great story, though. You pitch in the independent league.
Yeah.
You know?
And now he's back, and he'll probably retire a Dodger.
Yeah.
Michael Wacha, because Waka. I'm sorry.
We're here all week, people.
I don't think we'll have him going on the same team. We don't. Tell your reasoning first.
I have him going to the Rays just for a middle-of-the-road starter. I think, again, as Tampa Bay, the year went on, their pitching got a little scarce. And I think the main guy got hurt.
Snell?
Snell got hurt, and then the other big guy who was...
Morton?
No, one of the
Glass now?
Yes,
okay.
Tyler. He's the one that was big part of a trade. He got hurt, so they need some depth of their pitching. So he'd be a great.
When they're healthy, they're good. They got a solid 5 if they're healthy.
Yeah, so I think he'd be a good insurance policy.
Okay. I have him, similar reasons, going to the Red Sox, learning under Price and Sale, Eovaldi. I think the Red Sox have had their eye on him since the 2013 World Series where he debuted Cardinals and Red Sox back then, so I think they finally get him.
Pretty good reasoning.
Yeah. Ivan Nova.
I have him going to Seattle.
I can see that. I have him going to St. Louis.
Okay.
Just another way to, he used to be on the Pirates, used to beating up on the Cubs, so he's going to stay with the Cardinals.
There's a theme here. Teams that I hate.
Remember, there's always a bias. There's always a bias in your picks.
You know what? We need a chalkboard behind us so we can get to the chalkboard and start. Teams I hate.
I did make a list like that one time.
I think the chalkboard's for next year.
Pedro Strop.
I got him going back to the Cubs for a one-year deal. Apparently, he'll go down in history as one of the best relief pitchers ever for the Cubs, which is hard to believe. But
it's not a hard list to make. You just have to throw it across the plate.
This is fantastic. This is the best we've ever been. But yeah, I think he'll sign for a minuscule amount of money, and he's a folk hero in Chicago for some God knows reason.
I think that's a very likely story.
Yeah.
I think it's a good scenario. I think I'm going to the Mariners. They need some.
Yeah.
I think Strip could actually be their closer. They kind of have a need for.
He just doesn't throw hard anymore, so it's hard to believe, but yeah.
Rounding out the list before we go to honorable mentions is Drew Smiley. Again, this guy is a innings eater. If they're very similar to Rick Porcello, just a little less talented in my opinion. Smiley could end up anywhere. You could also make him a reliever. He's, I think, done that in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I have him going to the Braves for, hey, here's a 5th spot.
Yeah. I got him going to Phillies for insurance.
So 5th spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
You'll get a job, Smiley.
Sure.
All right, let me come up with one more honorable mention, and then we'll kind of go through
Okay.
where these players land.
I think this is the most ever that we agreed with.
Well, right now, so counting what we have so far, 1, 2, don't look at these.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. No, that's not 1. 4, 5, 6. That's just it's
Okay.
Bumgarner, Didi Gregorius, Cole Hamels. Then we didn't agree for a while.
Yeah.
And then Encarnacion, Akiyama, and Rich Hill.
Okay.
So all right, let me.
But I think a lot of times we were in 2 or 3 things. It didn't go to my team, then went to your team. So
Yeah,
we're in
it's similar to
agreement.
mine for
Yeah.
sure. I'm not taking that from you. Right, one more decent placement for either a fan favorite or a guy that should have been on the top 50 in my opinion.
You want to cheat off this
No,
list?
no. I came up with one. Well, we'll pause, actually. That makes sense, right, Trawler? Thanks for being patient. So I came up with a list of 9 honorable mentions.
Okay.
I have my 9 picks for these players, so we are going to give my dad kind of like not rapid fire so much. I guess we'll go one by one.
Okay.
See what you think about them, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts on that as well. First off the list, a guy that I think was one of your favorites in Chicago when he plays the Cub, and I think he deserves a winning team. But Starlin Castro.
You know what? He's still only 30 years old, believe it or not.
He's a young kid, yeah.
He came up at 19, and then the Cubs dealt him to the Yankees. Yankees dealt him to the Marlins. Had a pretty good year last year. So somebody who needs a second baseman or even a utility infielder
Or shortstop, you could still play that.
I can see him going to a contender that needs either a second baseman / shortstop. He doesn't have the range that much to be a shortstop anymore.
Okay.
I can see him going to the Reds. I can see him because he in Cincinnati he would hit a lot of home runs.
So if they don't sign Gregorius or in addition to Gregorius?
I think either one.
Okay.
So I think the Reds be a great fit for him. And I think other teams, I'm not sure with the other teams and who need a second baseman off the top of my head, but who do you have him going to for needs of a second baseman?
I have the Twins. I'm not letting him look at the others.
Yeah.
I have the Twins. You have Howie Kendrick being that void. I have Starlin Castro being that void.
You know what? Good thinking, because I think he fit in that clubhouse really well. And play on a winning team after being in Florida for, 3 seasons?
4.
Yeah. He would appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think the Reds be a pretty good fit as well. And he would do very well in Cincinnati.
I'm going to go 3, actually. Well, 2 more. Second baseman. So this is
Okay.
that thought process. Jonathan Scope.
Scope, what happened to him?
One great year with Baltimore and then
Yeah.
a drop-off of drop-offs.
Yeah. You know what? And I hate to say this, but he would come back to Baltimore and be a star. Is that a possibility? Because they have no infielders. The best infielder they had, they released. So do they give him a chance, give him a 1-year deal to rebuild his career? Maybe Baltimore.
I have him going back to the Orioles.
I'll
go
That's
ahead.
a star. And then we didn't even do this. That's off the top of my head.
Steve Pearce.
You know what? I think he's retired. I think he's done. I think if he goes to a team as strictly as a DH, so
You don't think he has got first base skills? I mean, in that World Series, he was defensively solid.
Right, but he didn't hit. Was he hurt last year or he didn't hit?
He didn't hit. I think there was another injury, but he had a rough year.
Yeah, be a first baseman, you got to hit.
Yep.
You know what?
Again,
let me have your thoughts, but if I was his agent, I'd tell him to retire.
You're a bad agent.
Yeah.
You're not getting any money if he retires.
I agree, but where you
He's going to get he's first base. You put to an American League team. I think he's good with American League because he could DH. 1-year contract to rebuild value. Who get paid under $5 million. I'd be lucky if he sees 3 in my opinion. Texas Rangers.
Okay.
They don't have a first baseman. They got a.
Okay.
And then again, on days where Chu plays the outfield, I don't know if he still does. But he could possibly DH.
He's been a bust.
Well, maybe Pierce will be a bust with the Rangers. They don't make that great signings.
That's good thinking. And you know what? To take a chance, if he doesn't make a spring training, you cut him. So yeah, I'm with you. It could be a minor league deal. Yeah.
The last second baseman I want to mention was Ben Zobrist.
I love Ben. You know, one of my
He can play
favorite.
first or out. We all
Yeah.
know that, but he is truly a second baseman.
You know what? I think he may go back to the Royals just to have a veteran presence in the clubhouse and let him play one more year, have some fun. But there's great stories about him in Chicago, riding his bike to Wrigley Field with his glove on the handlebars. I love stories like that.
So Merrifield is either a right fielder for the Royals next year or gets traded.
I think he gets traded
Okay.
for a good haul. I think he's. I think,
No, he deserves it.
yeah,
The
and a
Royals
nice
deserve it.
bobblehead as well.
I have Zobrist going to the Angels for his super utility under Joe Madden.
Yeah, you know what? Great thinking, and they love each other, so that could happen. And
Cheap too. I think cheap.
And then he would tell Joe, hey, play me every third day, whatever, and Joe would do that because they do have a genuine affection for each other. They've been together for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I did Steve Pearson there. I threw off with the second baseman thing. I'm sorry. Steve Pearce has played second base though.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He played third base too.
Todd Frazier will keep with the infield.
Todd. Strictly a DH at this stage of his career.
Really?
He's not much of a third baseman anymore.
He can be a first baseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And teams that need first baseman are?
Well, I have him going to the Brewers.
Well,
I have Brewers actually platooning Todd Frazier with another pick of mine that you'll see, or another replacement.
He's a home run hitter. They need offense.
Yeah.
So, okay.
To just be putting it out there, Justin Smoke is the person who I platoon him with.
Yeah, he had potential at one point.
So just kind of like, and again, I'm picking them both because maybe they platoon them, maybe they sign one of them. Kind of just putting both my eggs in both baskets there.
Yeah.
Get one
Gotta
right.
Replace Moose.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
So that's an option. So we covered Smoke. 3 left. We'll end with the ex-Oriole, King Felix. Where does King Felix? Does he retire? He's still in his 30s? He's not super old. I think he's 35.
Somebody's gonna take a chance on him.
Through no hitter, right?
Yeah.
Former Cy Young.
The king of Seattle.
Seattle will not. Seattle has parted ways with him.
Right, but I'm just saying. At one point, he was revered.
I know, and they could have gotten a AAA team for him at one time, like a whole Seriously, no. I mean,
You're right.
I mean, you remember the stories about Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier drawing that much trade interest too. But
I think somebody should take a chance on him.
First off, any team, as I could see, not the Mariners, so 1-29 could take a chance. But I think it's going to be a team that's not.
I'm thinking San Francisco.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I have them going to Texas.
Okay.
But again, it's just anybody's chance.
I think it could be a minor league deal. So you prove
Invitation
yourself.
to spring training.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm with you. But San Francisco may be that team to take a chance. West Coast, see what he can do. Yeah.
Alex Gordon, he's technically free agent for the first, well, not first time, but
Remember he signed a heck of a deal not too long ago. I think he stays in Kansas City.
I have that too.
Yeah.
I can't see him anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we'll end with Adam Jones.
I'm not a huge Adam Jones fan.
I'm not an Adam Jones fan either, but
you know what? I can see him come back to Baltimore for 1 year, and just I don't know what else he go. He's a fifth outfielder now, so where does he fit in being a fifth outfielder?
there's a lot of places that could have a fifth outfielder that has Adam Jones Excalibur.
But
Where he was, where he is now, but
but he's not. He doesn't have an arm anymore. He's lost his speed.
he's a corner outfielder. He's not a center.
Correct.
But I have him going to the Mets until Cespedes gets better, or if it gets better.
Yeah, and he has the East Coast, and I can see him doing it and batting 240, and playing every fourth day, something like that. Yeah, I can see that. But boy, he thought he was going to get a huge contract when he left the Orioles, and just fell apart.
Yeah. So that is it for our top 50 free agent predictions. Plus,
I think the best one we've ever had, to be quite honest.
Sound off in the comments if you enjoyed that, or if you agree with us, disagree with us, think we're absolutely crazy. Sometimes we make bold predictions, and oftentimes we are wrong, but we do really enjoy this. Feel free to look at any of the other videos that we're about to post in regards to our divisional analysis. We'll post 6 videos of those, so if you're a Twins fan, turn to the AL Central one, etc., etc. But thanks. Dad, any closing things?
Unbelievable scenario. I really liked our thinking. I thought it was a fun, humorous way to look at baseball. Hot stove season, and it's just about to go. Monday is one deadline, and then the winter meetings is the second weekend in December. So the next 3 weeks is full of baseball.
Can't wait.